Meet Kelly Green. She's 26, single, and by every modern academic metric, an outstanding success. Her accomplishments? A BA in gendered power structures in post-industrial media cultures, with an emphasis on identity performance in digital and algorithmic spaces, an MA in critical race epistemologies and decolonized knowledge production, and now, a proud PhD candidate in aesthetic radicalism and the visual rhetoric of liberation movements, tracking protest art from post-war modernism to Instagram activism. Her tuition, covered, her housing, subsidized, her loans, federal, her lifestyle, paid for by you. For nearly a decade, Kelly has lived in a parallel universe, a taxpayer-funded intellectual paradise where rent is waived, dissent is currency, and ideology is everything. She is what we now call a professional student. Let's do the math. 4 years at Brown, $320,000. 2 years at Yale, $180,000. 5-year PhD track at Harvard with living stipends, $250,000 plus. Total taxpayer investment, over $750,000. For what exactly? But Kelly isn't an only child. Let's meet her siblings. Her brother Will Green skipped college, went to trade school and became an electrician. At 28 he's married, just bought his first home and makes $75,000 a year. His student debt? Under $15,000 paid off. Then there's Carmen Green, the youngest. Graduated from state school by 20 with a degree in mechanical engineering. Now, working in modern corporate America, making 6 figures with a fully paid-off degree. While Kelly deciphers structural semiotics in post-capitalist art, Carmen's building real tech, and Will is wiring homes. Kelly isn't lazy, she's just stuck. Stuck in a system that rewards ideological loyalty, not economic output. Stuck in a cycle where degrees don't lead to independence, just more school. Stuck in a $1.77 trillion debt trap created by decades of bad incentives. 43% of graduates work jobs that don't require a degree. Degrees in gender studies, fine arts, and ethnic studies offer the lowest ROI. Many never break even. Meanwhile, trade workers and engineers see their earnings rise without the debt. Back in the golden age of America, you could work a job, afford a home, build a family. Now, you work to fund Kelly's next dissertation. While Kelly stacks degrees that ask more questions than they answer, her siblings build actual lives. And this isn't just one family story. This is America's education crisis writ large. Let's be blunt. Over $1.77 trillion in total student loan debt, Federal Reserve 2024. The average borrower owes over $37,000, with little to no ROI for liberal arts degrees. And worst of all, many of these degrees are subsidized by federal aid, grants, and forgiveness programs, meaning you're footing the bill. Degrees like Kelly's aren't building bridges, they're building bureaucrats. Now imagine 100,000 Kelly Greens, enrolled in degree mills that reward ideological activism over real-world output, living off of federal student aid, housing stipends, and taxpayer-backed loans. Emerging not as job-ready professionals, but as hyper-credentialed ideological agents with no productive economic role. Meanwhile, sectors like skilled trades, STEM, manufacturing, healthcare are desperate for workers. But instead of fixing engines, building homes, or curing disease, our brightest young minds are analyzing hashtags and writing dissertations on eco-feminist meme symbolism in decolonized TikTok spaces. This isn't education, it's subsidized stagnation. So what's the future? A growing class of permanent academic dependents, a shrinking class of skilled professionals, and a government that's training its youth to question the system, while depending entirely on it. Kelly may be fictional, but her debt, her degrees, her lifestyle, that's real, and it's growing. Funded by borrowed money, inflated tuition, and a government unwilling to admit that not all education is equal. If we keep this up, we won't just be subsidizing useless degrees, we'll be sponsoring the collapse of merit, productivity, and national resilience. So, next time you hear someone say, education is the answer, make sure to ask, to what question? Because right now, the answer isn't working. This is conservative direct. If you believe in skills over slogans and reality over rhetoric, like, share, subscribe, and let's bring value back to education.